children in this house. Your heart is large. Just take care that others don't take advantage of it. I'd hate to see that.
All right, Mama.
My daddy took me to a bar when I was 12. Told me to pick my whiskey, so there's all these bottles behind the bar. I just pointed up there, and I said, I'll take that one there with a pretty turkey on it. And guys in the bar laughed their butts off. We got drunk as a couple of coots that night. My daddy was a good man, sharecropper, hard worker. So one thing I got from him, working hands.
How old were you when he died?
14.
Hmm.
Why's you a nun?
I was drawn to it, I guess. I mean, that's a hard question to answer. It's like asking you why you're a convict.
Bad luck.
Good luck, then. I had a loving family, a lot of support. I guess I felt obliged to give some of it back.
Don't you miss having a man? Don't you want to get married, fall in love, have sex? What you don't want to talk about?
I have close friends, men and women. I've never experienced sexual intimacy, but there's other ways of being close. You sharing your dreams, your thoughts, your feelings. That's being intimate, too.
We got intimacy right now, don't we, sister?
I went to see your mother. She said she'd appear at the pardon board here, and if you want her to.
I like being alone with you. You're looking real good to me.
Look at you. Death is breathing down your neck. You're playing your little man on the make games. I'm not here for your amusement, Matthew. Show some respect.
Why should I respect you? Because you're a nun, you with that little cross around your neck?
Because I'm a person. Every person deserves respect. What's the answer? What's it gonna be with your mama?
Matty had a hard life, but he was a good boy. When he was 60,
Ladies and gentlemen, let's be honest. You're not going to find many rich people on death row. Matthew Poncelet's here today because he is poor. Didn't have money for representation, so he had to take what the state gave him. The state gave him a tax lawyer who never tried a capital case before. An amateur. Jury selection took 4 hours. Trial lasted 5 days. Lawyer raised one objection the entire trial. Now, if Matthew had himself some money, well, he could have hired a team of crackerjack lawyers, and they would have hired top-notch investigators, a ballistics expert, a psychologist to compile profiles of desirable jurors, and you can be sure Matthew Poncelet wouldn't be sitting here today before you asking for his life. The death penalty. It's nothing new. Been with us for centuries. We've buried people alive, lopped off their heads with an axe, burned them alive in public squares. Gruesome spectacles.
I wanted them to see these pictures.
In this century, we kept searching for more and more humane ways of killing people that we didn't like. We've shot them with firing squads, suffocated them in a gas chamber. But now we have developed a device that is the most humane of all. Lethal injection. We strap the guy up. We anesthetize him with shot number 1. Then we give him shot number 2, and that implodes his lungs, and shot number 3 stops his heart. We put him to death just like an old horse. His face just goes to sleep while inside his organs are going through Armageddon. The muscles of his face would twist and contort and pull, but you see, shot number 1 relaxes all those muscles, so we don't have to see any horror show. We don't have to taste the blood of revenge on our lips, while this human being's organs writhe, twist, contort. We just sit there quietly, nod our heads, say, justice has been done.
It has been 6 years since the brutal and reprehensible murders of Hope Percy and Walter Delacroix, and justice is long past due. Matt Poncelet has had a lengthy, thorough court review. Not only a trial, but a retrial for sentencing, as well as numerous appeals to state and federal courts, and successive petitions filed by Mr. Barber. There has been no doubt in the court's mind at any time about who did the murder. Matthew Poncelet is not a good boy. He is a heartless killer. These murders were calculated, disgusting, and cruel. This man shot Walter Delacroix 2 times in the back of his head, then raped Hope Percy and stabbed her 17 times before shooting this sweet girl 2 times in the back of the head. These families will never see their children graduate from college. They will never attend their wedding. They will never have Christmas with them again. There will be no grandchildren. All they ask of you is simple justice for their unbearable loss. I ask you to take a breath, steel your spine, and proceed with the execution of Matthew Poncelet.
It's always a good sign when you have to wait. I don't know whether we made any headway in there.
I thought you did great.
The best thing would be if they realized their own culpability in the death of a man.
Hilton.
Hmm? Excuse me, sister.
I'm Walter Delacroix's father.
Mr. Delacroix, I'm sorry about your son.
Sister, I'm a Catholic. How can you sit by Poncelet's side without ever having come to visit with me and my wife or the Percys to hear our side? How can you spend all your time worrying about Poncelet and not think that maybe we needed you too?
Mr. Delacroix, I didn't think that you wanted to talk to me.
You going in? There's Mary Beth and Clyde Percy.
I'm sorry about your daughter.
Yeah, so are we. Excuse us.
Listen, sister, I'm sure you've seen a side of Matt Poncelet that none of us have seen. I'm sure he's on his best behavior, must be pretty sympathetic to you. But, sister, this is an evil man. This is a man who abducted teenage kids and raped and killed them. That scum robbed me of my only son. My name, my family name dies with me. There will be no more Delacroix, sister. No more.
I want you to know I do care about you and your family and what happened to your son. I'm going to give you my number. If there's anything that you need, you just call me.
Me call you? Think about that, sister. Think about how arrogant that is. Excuse me.
You all right? We better be getting on in.
It is the finding of this board that clemency be denied to Matthew Poncelet. Execution will be carried out as scheduled 1 week hence.
Don't give up
Please
hope,
remain
man.
seated
We
until
still
the
got a
prisoner
judge
has
in
been
the 5th
escorted
District
from the
Federal
room.
Court that can put a stop to this. Beyond that, there's the U.S. Supreme Court. With the governor, I'll get a private meeting with him. It's the last thing I do.
So you all I got, sis. Tell me I can have a spiritual buzz of my choice. You do it? Right along in the sunset with me.
It means you're gonna have to spend several hours with him every day as his death nears. And then on the day of his execution, you're gonna have to spend all day with him.